In the world of no-code AI dev tools, Replit is kind of one of the OGs in the space, one of the original tools that you could just talk to in plain language and it would build full web applications, websites, and interactive tools for you. But how does Replit compare to the new Google Opal? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to build the exact same game in real time with Replit and Google Opal, and you'll decide who's the best. Hey, I'm Craig Hewitt. Welcome back to 100 Days of AI. Let's just dive in and build this game. So we're going to start with Replit. I've built a handful of things in Replit for my business Castos. Most of these are kind of like these engineering as marketing free tools to help us attract customers and whatnot. And some of them are really, really good, giving us hundreds of new leads every week. But for this, let's create a new tool. And so here Replit just says, hey, when you create an app, what do you want to build? And we are going to build the snake game. And say, I want to build an interactive game. I want to build the snake game. And let's just see how good it is at understanding my very simple language and building a game for us that works, is free of bugs, and hopefully has some cool kind of tricks and UI elements to it. So it's saying, I understand you want to build the classic snake game that's popular on mobile device. This is a great interactive game project. Let me create a comprehensive plan for developing a web-based snake game with all the core mechanics. Well, it's out there doing some research probably. Snake moves continuously in a direction. Arrow control keys. Food items spawn randomly. Snake grows when eating food. Score increases with each food consumed. Game over when snake hits a wall or itself. Restart functionality. Yep, I agree with all of that. Okay, so the thing about Replit while it's building here is it just does all of the work for you. That's the thing I love about it, as opposed to something like Claude Code or maybe even Cursor, which is more like helping you as a developer along. Replit is just like, hey, go build Snake, and it does it for you. And so if you're not a developer, I would lean more in this direction. It'll be really interesting to see how Google Opal kind of shapes up, because it's purporting like, hey, build and edit and share many apps using natural language. So like, I don't know if it's going to hold up. I literally have never used it. I opened the canvas just once just to take a look before recording this, but you're getting a first look right alongside me. Here in the gallery, they have write a blog post writer, book recommendations, business profiler. So you know, learning with YouTube. So I don't know, but we're going to find out, and this is going to be really fun. Okay, so this is what's going on here. It's created this client, snakegame.tx. I think this is a TypeScript file. So we're just going to take a pause right here and restart the recording once it's done kind of with its first pass. Okay, that took about 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, so it took 2 minutes. I lied. It took 2 minutes. And let's see everything that happened. So once we told it to go, it created these TypeScript files, installed some dependencies, run npm dev, and created replit.md file. So I'm not actually sure what the replit.md file, oh, this is like a README file, talks about what the project is. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so then once Replit is done, just because I've used Replit, it creates a snapshot. So it's kind of like version control built in. So that might be useful for us as we tinker with things once this initial version is done. If we're like, hey, this is bad, this is going backwards, I want to go back to this place, you can. So it worked for 2 minutes, had 22 actions, wrote a whole bunch of lines of code, and then tells you what it did, right? I've created this classic snake game with React and HTML5, great. And we can see a preview of it right over here. So press spacebar to continue, use arrow keys or WASD, which is like old school gaming on the keyboard, to move around. And so we're just gonna get started. So we'll see the preview over here. Let's hit spacebar. Oh, game over. Press spacebar to restart. Game over. What is going on? Okay, so it's a bug, obviously. So, you know, this is software, bugs happen. And so let's say, I say there's a bug, the game ends immediately after I hit start with the spacebar. What's going on here? And so again, Replit and these really agentic autonomous code tools are just going to go out. They're going to look at the code base. They're going to propose solutions. Oh, I can see the issue. Looking at console log, the game is ending immediately because of collision detection problem. I don't know what that means. Found the issue. The problem is a collision detection logic. The snake is starting at position 1010, but the canvas dimensions and grid calculations might be causing an issue. Cool. Okay, so it thinks it's fixed this because like the snake was outside of the canvas, outside of the space that we're operating in. So it should be fixing this. Okay, and so now we should be able to, and it's going to restart the game. So again, you can see the preview over here. And so it is kind of like redeployed this, and it took a screenshot. And cool. Okay, so again, another checkpoint here. And so we're going to play the game. Another bug. All right, we'll tell it. And so I just said, same bug, what's going on? You could just use natural language. You could take a screenshot if you want, right? You could take a screenshot and drag it in here. So let's do that. Just to tell it what's going on. It knows, right? It said we have debugging in place to figure out what's going on. So that's cool. I found the issue is the canvas is being resized 80 to 40 pixels. You know, dude, come on. Like, right? It should know. That's the goal. And we'll see how Google Opal is with this. But so far, Replit is not doing amazingly. Interestingly, I'll compare Replit to Cursor, just because I've not built a lot of stuff in Claude Code. I talk to Claude Code a lot, but I've not built like interactive websites in Cursor. I find Cursor, because it's on your machine, has a harder time with things like environments and installing dependencies and stuff like that. So I can go from 0 to something in Replit pretty quickly, and I would suppose Google Opal will be the same. But Cursor to me is like, I wouldn't use it to build a little something like this, only a much bigger tool. So just kind of food for thought. Okay, so it did some stuff, restarted, took a snapshot, and I'm just going to let it flash green over here, and then we'll start playing again. Okay. Hey, it's working. Okay, so I'm using left and right and up and down on the keyboard. Oh, I ran into, I don't know if I actually ran into the wall, but we'll play again. Okay, spacebar. Oh, it's not like super responsive. So yeah, like I press the, right and down pretty quickly, and it's just not, it's not receiving the cue really, really quickly. So let's just tell it that. So let's say, so I say, it's great, working expected, but the input from the keyboard is a bit laggy. I push several keys at once or very quickly, and it's not recognized it. Let's just see if it's like, hey, yeah, I have some kind of input delay or buffer or something like that. I don't know how this might work. So it's saying, cool, optimize the keyboard input to make it more responsive. Cool. So, this is software, right? This is debugging and optimizing software. But I have to say, like, for our first go at it, it's pretty good. Oh, I think that also might be, I think it might be causing me to die when I reach the end. No, okay. Oh. Okay, so it's doing work over here. We'll just play. We'll just play Snake while it's working. This is us abusing robots, I guess, right? Oh, so interesting. It's only going for a bit. It might be because like it's fixing code while I'm playing the game, which I probably shouldn't be doing. Okay, so it's doing a bunch of stuff. Optimize keyboard. I need to implement input queue system that buffers keystrokes and processes them in order. Yep. Okay, I need to add missing properties to the state. I need to control the comments. I need to fix missing import queues, start game function. So again, like you don't have to know code. You just have to know what you want this to look like, and it'll build it. So we're going to give this a few more minutes, and then we're going to go on and build the exact same thing in Google Opal. Okay, so it's restarted the game, it's taking a screenshot. It's going to add a checkpoint, which is like version control again. And we're going to play the game and see if I can, cool. And it tells us all the stuff we did here. Cool, okay. So let's play. Is it faster? Oh, it's not faster, it's slower. Yeah, like if I hit up and like an arrow, to the side, it just doesn't recognize both of them. Okay, so that's cool. So we did that and we built a game with Replit. We're going to build the exact same snake game with Google Opal. And interestingly, I am only able to use Google Opal on my personal account. I'm not able to use Google Opal on my Google Workspace account. So my Castos account, we use Google, and not able to use it there. So only on my gmail.com account. So you know what? Just to be really fair, I'm going to use the exact same prompt as we used in Replit over here in Opal. Okay, so I want to build the interactive game. It's the snake game that is so popular on mobile devices. And let's just kind of see what it says, right? And just for reference, from first prompt to first version of the game in Replit was about 2 minutes. So let's see if Google Opal tells us that, right? And if kind of how it performs. So it's thinking. Okay, so interesting. So it's giving us like prompts. You're a meticulous technical writer tasked with creating a comprehensive and precise description of the classic snake game. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's kind of giving like a technical spec first. Cool, that's fine. Generate a fully responsive playable version of the classic snake game in HTML. Okay. So let's click go and see what happens. I really like that it's creating kind of a sequence. So I can imagine if you're like, hey, I want to be a little more involved, I'm creating a bunch of steps with maybe like different models and different personas here. That would be really interesting. So again, all these tools are a spectrum, right? So I look at Replit as the like really basic, if you want like an interactive web app, like we have for Castos, we have some that have API integrations and they have databases and they have memory and all this kind of stuff. We also have ones that are just websites, basically. For websites, I would probably use something like V0, which we covered in a previous video here on the channel, so you can just search for it. But you know, so far we're like a minute in here. I might use Google Opal for something slightly more involved, something more like I would use Cursor for, or even Claude Code. Okay, cool. So pretty quick. You know, it didn't give me any prompts on like how to play or anything. So let's just play again. I'm not very good. Let's see how it does. Oh, okay. Oh no, okay. So I got 50, play again. So you didn't come here to watch me play the snake game, I know, but that's what you got. Ooh, so this one's much more responsive. So I can click, you know, down and left really quickly with this one, and it works. I also like that it let me be a little more prescriptive. Oh, I missed. See, I couldn't do that. I couldn't kind of like turn in one row with the Replit version of the game. So, you know, I gotta say, like, hats off to Google Opal for me so far. Let's see what happens if I run into the tail. Okay. You know, I gotta say, Google Opal with the win here. So, okay, you know, I want to make the food and I want to make the food different colors. So I'm just saying, make the food that the snakes eat different colors. Each item of food should be a different color. Also, the head of the snake should be yellow. Don't ever make the food yellow. So let's just see how it does. Because it one-shotted it, right? It one-shotted it and it worked well. Whereas in Replit, we had to go back and forth like freaking several times to get this to work. Also, like, this is free. This is free on any Gmail account. Like how in depth it can go, because like Replit has a lot around. Like you can deploy apps. It can go like out and you can assign custom domains to it. Like we have some pretty fancy stuff going on. So let's just see over here what's going on. Let's see if we can see what's going on, because I had a nope. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want that. Go away. Okay, so just delete console. Like, I don't know where we are. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like I had that prompt here. Like, where's that prompt? Let's see. Like, uh, hmm. It's still the same. Let's see if we restart it. Oh, it's building the game again. Oh, editor? That's interesting. Output. Oh, no, that's not what I want. So it's just building the game again. I can't click editor up here. So, gosh, these tools are also different. Like, Replit, I like knowing what's going on. It's doing this, it's doing this. Replit has a lot of tooling around like debugging. You can have databases, you can have deployments. So, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, oh, I wonder if it got press any key to start. So interesting, like this time it's moving, right? So I told it to make the head yellow, which it is, but the game is moving when I'm pressing up and down. I said make every piece of food a different color. It's largely doing that. A lot of them are pink and orange, aren't they? But the head of the snake is. So, okay, I don't know. What do you think? They're very different, right? These tools are very different. We got to a working product faster with Google Opal. I don't like how I just can't see what the heck is going on here. I can't see anything. Like there's no code, there's no progress bar, there's no kind of anything. It really is just a giant black box. So, I think I like the theme, right? The theme over all of these videos is pick the right tool for the job. So if the right tool is like, hey, I just want to build a little mini app that I'm really sure I'm going to one-shot this and it's going to work, I would probably pick Google Opal. If I was like, hey, I need something that's production ready that I can go in and like view this code and see what's going on, deploy this and run it on my website, I probably would use Replit. If it's like a way more complicated tool and I'm like, hey, I need version controlling. I need to write the code. I need to talk to this thing. I need to control the environment that it's deployed in. I would use something like Claude Code or Cursor. And so that's kind of the spectrum for me. And then at the very, very edge is like, I just need a website. I would use V0 or Lovable or something like that. So hey, this is why we do these videos is I'm learning, you're learning. I hope you enjoyed this. Tell me how you like Replit. Tell me if you used Google Opal, tell me what you like best and why. If you like something else better and you're like, Craig, you got to do a Replit versus something else, tell me all about it. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment in below. As always, if you're enjoying this, please like, subscribe, smash the bell. Tell a friend about the 100 Days of AI. I'm really proud of this and I really think it's awesome. I hope you do too. And we'll see you tomorrow.